Was it actually all doom and gloom at the end of December 2024, or does hope spring eternal? The GTA real estate housing market update. We're going to dive into what happened in December 2024. And of course, once I give you the Greater Toronto Area numbers, we are going to dive into more specific numbers, specifically in the four markets that I tend to assist many of my clients in, that being the city of Guelph, Oakville, Milton, as well as the city of Kitchener. So let's get into some of the particulars as it pertains to December 2024. So if I could say the word for December, for just 2024 in general, for me, it was a year of transition, just in terms of what was happening in my life personally, but also what was happening professionally, right? What we're seeing in terms of the products that came onto the market, as well as the transition between what was happening in previous markets to 2024, which there was a marked difference, and the sheer amount of inventory, especially in our condominium sector, that came to the market and the time that it took. So, to offload some of them. So, truly, 2024, to be summed up, it would be that the market closed out as a year of transition. So, buyers and sellers definitely saw notable shifts in these segments. The annual home sales for 2024 actually went up by 2.6% year over year to 67,610 in terms of the home sales. Okay, so this is the GTA real estate market update. The new listings that hit the market went up by 16.4% to 166,121. The annual average price. Now, I know that this is probably one of the two really, most important factors when it comes time to if you own a home and you're wondering, oh my gosh, how much money does my home command in today's market, and how long is it going to take, right? I would say those are probably the two most top of mind questions that you have as a homeowner. So the annual average sale price in the GTA, in fact, went down ever so slightly. We're talking under 1% when compared to 2023. And the average price in the GTA went from 1.12 million to 1.117 million. Okay, the December 2024 home sales, there has actually been a slight increase from 2023 to about 3,359 units. That's for December 2024. And, in terms of the market trends for 2024, we saw, single family homes. So detached properties, if they are presented well, the price expectations are in line with market value. And truthfully, in certain markets, there wasn't a lot of inventory in single family detached that were presented well and commanded the price that, they asked for. So there was still active negotiation and I'd even say active multiple offers when it came to single family detached from experience, because certain detached properties in really fabulous locations that do not come up all the time, that have been well maintained and that are realistic in price, they end up doing quite well, even in December 2024. I think there's a little bit of a shift I do see even in my clients' minds now, and I attribute it a lot to the education that's happening online, and it's that the right time to sell is when it's the right time for you. So if that's December, fine. We just have to market and have a strategy that works for you for December, which could look a lot different than the strategy we would use, say, in March. Right? So, and I love that. A lot of clients are coming to the table and saying, this is the right time for me. I understand it's December. I understand it might be, winter holidays and this, that, and the other. So how do we make sure that I'm sold? And there is a way. There is a way. Even if you're going to list a home in December, you could have all eyes on you, right? Because there are serious buyers entering the market at different points, and serious buyers, they have their eyes on the market. So all that to say, single family homes did, in fact, have tighter market conditions because of the sheer number of inventory. It did not actually, what's the word? We needed more inventory in that bracket compared to condominium apartments, right? Condos, it's a buyer's market. You have your choice. And well-presented condos that are priced aggressively, that are priced at market value, you still have a lot of choice there. right? So the mindset is shifting, the affordability is kind of shifting. You know, I understand that there's economic factors at play actively. If you're in Canada, you feel this actively at play here. However, you know, that investment pool that we saw over the last couple of years, the last 3 years, that's shifted in the condo market. And so we do have inventory up for grabs. So if you're thinking of getting into the market and you're open to exploring a condo, you have negotiating power right now. Okay, along with that, we did see, you know, the interest rates come down. The Bank of Canada did, in fact, go ahead and do that final rate cut in December, and we're expected right next week in January. We'll see what happens. Another Bank of Canada announcement is set to come. So let's see what ends up happening. And of course, as we know, you know, the economic climate is up in the air with our. We have a resignation from our own authority here in Canada, as well as elections in the state. It's going to be a very interesting year that unfolds in 2025. But the name of the game is we're seeing an uptick. So if I'm talking about today, if I'm talking about what's happening in terms of client conversations today, the conversations have begun. The conversations have begun because preparation is key. If you think the spring market is going to be in March and April and you're okay to just get in touch at the end of Feb, I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and see what needs to be done to your property now so that we can align you with the right vendors. We can align you with the right things that you need to invest in order to get your home ready. And then you get to hit the market with a lot of preparation and care. That is what's needed in order to win and command interest in today's real estate market. So, moving on to our more specific markets here, you know, specific to the 4 areas that I tend to transact in the most, that being the City of Guelph. City of Guelph, of course, in Wellington region. The average days on market for December 2024 was 31 compared to December 2023, which was 39. Okay. The average sales price also went up. Oh, and I know some of you have asked me this before. Where is this data from? So this data is directly from our Realm platform. There are many, you know, there has been an amalgamation of several real estate boards and the data that they're being fed. And there's been a really big shift that happened with our MLS platforms in December. But this data comes to you from Realm. So our detached average sales price in the city of Guelph specifically went up to 920,000. The average townhome, the average sales price also went up to 757,000, and the condo, the average sales price for the condo as expected went down ever so slightly. So in 2023 we sat at 584, the average, and December 2024 we're sitting at 575,000. Right thereabouts. You can see the specific numbers on the screen if you can. Otherwise, that's just the general average, you know, sprinkled along the city of Guelph. This is by no means a specific neighborhood. As you know, as I tell you at probably every single market update, if you're looking for specific data, you need to get in touch. So you can either send me an email at admin@varshapasel.com, or there's a link right in my bio here. Go ahead and schedule a call so we can just have a chat to get familiar with what your needs are. Right? Because there will come a point where I may say, hey, are you sure you need to sell? That's usually one of the first questions that we end up saying. So, okay, moving on. City of Guelph is doing well, and I'll tell you, City of Guelph, really City of Guelph, and when we get to City of Kitchener, you're going to see a lot of these cities, they're seeing action. They're seeing a lot of action. In fact, Halton region actually surpassed Peel region in terms of average sales price. Okay, Halton is getting expensive. Halton is getting crowded. I love Halton. I lived in Halton region for over 10 years. I love Halton. I play in those markets actively. But if you're looking for a little more space, if you're looking to stretch your dollar just a little bit more, I speak to people on the regular who are looking to leave Halton region. If that's you, I've walked in your shoes. Go ahead and reach out. So moving on to our lovely town of Milton, which is in Halton region. The average days on market there sat at 34 when compared to 36 in December 2023. Pretty average. December, the detached average sales price in the town of Milton sitting at 1.286 million. Okay, and that's gone up ever so slightly from December 2023, where it sat at 1.249 million. The average sale price for a townhome in Milton is sitting at $912,000. And the condo, the average sales price for a condo. Now, again, there are a lot of condos on the market, and this is sprinkled all across the town of Milton, is looking at $630,000. Okay, that is not a one size fits all. That could just be for the month of December. Perhaps there were more transactions in the 2-bedroom condo versus the 1-bedroom or the studio condo, right? You really, when you take these stats, you have to be, if you're actively wanting value for your property, I hope you're taking this and just taking an overarching trajectory of what the market is doing. That's really the best way for you to take this data. And if you're compiling your own Excel spreadsheets, as I know a lot of my clients do, actually, I love that. If you are, then you can catch the trends. You can see them. You can see what's happening, right? So kudos to you. So moving on to Oakville. Oakville, as we know, has always remained one of the more prestigious in terms of, I mean, it's just more expensive. It is more expensive. I think you can find really fabulous communities in many of these cities that I'm mentioning here today. I do love the proximity to the lake. I am a sucker for that. So Oakville in Halton region, the average days on market sat at 43. Okay, when you're at that price point, I hope you're deducing why things are sitting a little bit longer, right? The average days for $1 million home, okay, let me take you back. $1 million home prior to the pandemic, it took time to sell. The way in which we talk about $1 million for a home today is quite different from what $1 million home gave us even 5 years ago, even 6 years ago, right? $1 million home 6 years ago would easily sit on the market for 30 days. That was the norm. Things have shifted, right? Immigration has gone up, prices have gone up, the adjustments have actively happened in our communities. But just to give you a little bit of perspective, they used to sit for a little bit longer. So do not be surprised if you're offloading a higher price point in terms of a product in today's market, which, you know, the average detached sale price in Oakville, you're looking at over 2 million. It's sitting at almost 2.1 million. It's going to take a little bit longer, which then aligns with the average days on market, right? Again, it is not a one size fits all. There are definitely certain locations that can move sometimes even before it hits the MLS. These things do happen, okay? So the average townhome in the town of Oakville, we're looking at 1.257 million, which has actually gone up in comparison to December 2023, which sat at 1.18 million, thereabouts. And the average condo, you're actually looking at somewhat similar. There's still a significant difference, but you're looking at 685,000 for December 2024 in comparison to 709,000 in December 2023. Now moving on to our lovely Kitchener market. I do love Kitchener. I'll tell you, the Waterloo region, as we know, for several years, if you're familiar with Waterloo, most people are because of the universities and the tech sector, but even in terms of building and development and the styles of condo and the sheer amount of good transit options, shopping, culture, food, you name it, Kitchener has seen such a marked increase in the number of folks calling Kitchener home and investing in Kitchener. In fact, 2 of my most recent leases for some of my landlord investor clients, both in Kitchener, right? So if you're looking to move more out west, that's why I give you the Kitchener market, because in fact, I have assisted folks moving from the east to the west, right? That transition's been happening long before the pandemic. So Kitchener in Waterloo region, the average days on market is sitting at 36 when compared to 30 in December 2023. Detached, your average sale price is 911. Again, this is just a snapshot. Okay, it's just a snapshot of Kitchener in December 2024. Townhomes average sale price sitting at 731,000. That has gone up from 716 in 2023. And your condos, oh, with all of the development of the condos in the area, this is where investors get happy, because the condos, if you're looking at a 1 bedroom, if you're looking at studios, if you're looking at 2 bedroom, you got to know, parking included. These are all factors that raise the price. But on average, your condo is sitting at 417,000, 420,000 compared to 454 in 2023. So those are just some of the important numbers. Oops, sorry about that. To give you a guide, with what has been happening in our market for December 2024. Again, it is just a snapshot of the entire area at large. If you're looking for specific communities, if you're looking for, specific school districts, if you're looking for access to specific roads, highways to cut your commute in half, right? These are all important factors that you need to take into consideration before you're buying into a market. And if you're relocating, I've got numerous guides that can help you. I'm going to encourage you to go onto my website, varshapasel.com, VARSHAPASEL.com, because there are guides that are there to help you discern some of the things that you may not think of, because this is not what you do on the daily, right? So go ahead and take a look at the site. Go ahead and schedule something, a discovery call that we can have together to kind of get you in line with your goals of either home ownership or relocation. So you can do that through the link that's available here. So I wish you all the best, December 2024, and a very happy new year to you as you embark on 2025. It is going to be an interesting ride in the real estate market, and I can tell you that already we're having really fabulous conversations with folks that are looking to get prepared for selling, and definitely looking to negotiate in terms of purchasing power for 2025 on the buyer side. Well, take care. We'll talk soon.